The Queensway SUPER50 Inter-County Cup will start on October 11th with matches in Essequibo, and the matches will move throughout Guyana with all counties hosting matches. The final is still tentative, with it being either Albion or in Essequibo. But from a player's perspective, this inter-county will hold a lot of action because lots of spots will be up for the Harpy Eagles, given that some senior players are likely to be unavailable due to international commitments. So what's at stake for the players? A shot in the Harpy Eagles, but how do they get there? With me to discuss some of the things he would want to see players produce over the course of these matches is head coach for the Guyana Harpy Eagles, Ryan Hercules. Coach Hercules, I know your cap doesn't fit a selector, but obviously from this inter-county, you would want to see players exhibit certain quality, have certain output, so that they can certainly form a core of your team that's going to head to that SUPER50.
Yes, definitely. We've known our luck so far with white ball cricket. Haven't won a SUPER50 title in quite some time. I think it's very important that we make some changes in terms of our approach, how we go about, in the tournament. We cannot keep doing the same thing every year and hope to get a different results. So some planning with myself and my analyst, Rice and Bagu. We had some good discussions in terms of what we want to see start from the inter-county, because normally what we would do, we'll let the guys, update the guys when we get into that camp and before we get into the tournament, and I think it's a bit too late at that time for them to adjust and adapt to what we're looking for them. So I think it was important. I've got the Guyana Cricket Board along with my plans as well in terms of what we want to do. We're going to have some scorers. We're going to be scoring electronically to give me some data along with Ryson as well, what we can use for selection reason and we can use to help these players in terms of where they need to improve from a bowling, batting and fielding perspective as well. We do know conditions can play a bit of a part as well in terms of the facility that we may be using. It's not, the international standard, but nevertheless, I will encourage players to go out there and adapt to conditions. We know what it's like in the West Indies. There's a big thing now in terms of, facilities and grounds and whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, we still have to make the best of what we have, like I will always say. So I would want to see guys, come out with a positive mindset. I think when you look at the test side or even at the one-day side, I think guys are not playing that fearless cricket. So the first thing for me is playing that fearless cricket, but not getting too carried away, not getting too above themselves, and just sticking to a plan. I have discussion with all the head coaches for the different counties and to give them a layout or a blueprint of what they should be, try to get into the ears of the guys. Yes, we know they will be playing for selection, it's very important, but it's key that they know that playing for selection and to get selected for the team, and if you're not suited for that role when you get to the first class level, to me won't make any sense. So I was torn in terms of letting them know that the guys need to adjust and adapt and buy into this, because this is what we need to do to be competitive at the first class level and even go beyond at the first class cricket.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of stats that drive selection these days. If you could briefly explain how some of those stats you're looking to implement and probably assist the selectors in picking the Guyana Harpy Eagles squad. I know you have some marks with about overs 1 to 10 in the back end and the middle overs. If you could briefly touch on that.
Yes, it's just a breakdown with the different phases of the 50 over tournament that we will be playing. In the 3 different power play from a batting perspective, over 1 to 10, 11 to 40, 41 to 50. So there are certain marks here that you could touch on to get extra bonus points. Now the point system has been implemented also in this inter-county tournament, right? So the guys can actually try to achieve these points that we're trying to get when we play the SUPER50 tournament. So for instance, not losing more than 3 wickets in the first power play and scoring 50 runs. So you'll ask batters to get at least a strike rate of 80-85 in that first 10 overs. And then when you get into that important middle phase, how do guys stretch on to get a good foundation to get a strike rate of 100 strike rate in that middle phase, and coming to the back end where you ask guys to press a bit more to score 12 runs and over and push a strike rate to 120 up or even more. If you look at in the Caribbean, we have great finishers, right? We have guys who finish well with good strike rates at the back end, but we're lacking in the middle and at the top order. So that's something we have been struggling with, especially with our beginning for the past few years at the SUPER50. We have guys batting that whole period with not reaching a mark or getting a point. So these are the things I want to see implemented in the inter-county tournament, even from a bowling perspective as well. How much dot balls we can get in that first 10 overs to give you a point. Can we get 3 wickets? From a bowling perspective, I like to see guys being attacking, being aggressive, right? Sticking to plans let they speak to the captain and let they come up with plans how they can go out there and how they execute. It's very important. Like I did mention, the facilities are not, the international ones, but like I said, if we could see they're trying to achieve these goals, it would be a really good thing. And they don't have to basically get to 100%. If you get 80%, we could see that, we're trying and we get into where we want. And then when we get into the camp and when we get into training, we can look to polish up.
It starts at this inter-county that will happen over the weekend. There's certainly a lot to think about for the players. That isn't just about winning matches, scoring runs. It's about certainly playing within those specific overs, whether you were a batsman or a bowler, to achieve a specific target. Reporting for the newsroom, Akim Green.